Good morning, everyone. Trance-Channel Tina Spalding here for our daily Course in Miracles lessons. Thank you all for joining me. Today, our lesson is lesson number 47. God is the strength in which I trust. If you are trusting in your own strength, you have every reason to be apprehensive, anxious, and fearful. What can you predict or control? What is there in you that can be counted on? What would give you the ability to be aware of all the facets of any problem and to resolve them in such a way that only good can come of it? What is there in you that gives you the recognition of the right solution and the guarantee that it will be accomplished? Of yourself, you can do none of these things. To believe that you can is to put your trust where trust is unwarranted and to justify fear, anxiety, depression, anger, and sorrow. Who can put his faith in weakness and feel safe, yet who can put his faith in strength and feel weak? God is your safety in every circumstance. His voice speaks for him in all situations and in every aspect of all situations, telling you exactly what to do to call upon his strength and his protection. There are no exceptions because God has no exceptions, and the voice which speaks for him thinks as he does. Today we will try to reach past your own weakness to the source of real strength. 4 5-minute practice periods are necessary today, and longer and more frequent ones are urged. Close your eyes and begin as usual by repeating the idea for today. Then spend a minute or two in searching for situations in your life which you have invested with fear, dismissing each one by telling yourself, God is the strength in which I trust. Now try to slip past all concerns related to your own sense of inadequacy. It is obvious that any situation that causes you concern is associated with feelings of inadequacy, for otherwise you would believe that you could deal with the situation successfully. It is not by trusting yourself that you will gain confidence, but the strength of God in you is successful in all things. The recognition of your own frailty is a necessary step in the correction of your errors, but it is hardly a sufficient one in giving you the confidence which you need and to which you are entitled. You must also gain an awareness that confidence in your real strength is fully justified in every respect and in all circumstances. In the latter phase of the practice period, try to reach down into your mind to a place of real safety. You will recognize that you have reached it if you feel a sense of deep peace, however briefly. Let go of all the trivial things that churn and bubble on the surface of your mind and reach down below them to the kingdom of heaven. There is a place in you where there is perfect peace. There is a place in you where nothing is impossible. There is a place in you where the strength of God abides. During the day, repeat the idea often. Use it as your answer to any disturbance. Remember that peace is your right because you are giving your trust to the strength of God. And that is lesson number 47. God is the strength in which I trust. Let's see what Jesus has to say today. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we thank you for joining us today. We truly do thank you for joining us today. You do not really understand how much joy it brings us on the other side of the veil to see the transformation and changes that come to minds that are doing this work. You begin to have little snippets of peace. You begin to see where you are creating negative fantasies and where they cause you to become emotionally negative or depressed or sad. You are all beginning to see the part you play with the untrained mind, the mind that is aligned with the ego. You begin to see what your mind is up to, and you begin to get excited because you feel that there is a possible future that is different than the one you anticipated. And this is why this lesson is an important one. When you trust in God, you are not trying to micromanage the future, which is very anxiety-inducing for the ego mind, which is where most of you are functioning from at this stage of your training. The ego mind is about the physical body. It is about maintaining the safety of the physical body. It is about indulging the senses of the physical body. It is about using the physical body to get what it wants. The ego is inextricably entwined with the physical body because it is, in fact, the desire for separation that has manufactured your body. Now, the body itself is indifferent. It is not aligned with any particular thought structure. It will align itself with what you decide to think about. So if you hand over your future to God, if you say, I am not qualified to make decisions here, I am not qualified to predict what the global warming issue is going to bring about. This is something that is front and center in many of your minds right now. If you try and figure that problem out, you will just create great anxiety because the ego mind will not be able to glean enough information to feel at peace. In fact, the ego is never at peace. It's always at war. But if you stay in the present, if you stay in this moment, the ego is okay. It can deal with it. You are using your senses to interpret the present moment. You are not predicting a fearful future. You are not regurgitating the past. In the present moment, the ego is manageable, and it is okay. However, to stay out of the future, you must understand that you are not qualified to predict it, arrange it, organize it, know what is going to happen in the future. And so this is one of those very important foundational elements in your practice, that you trust in the strength of God and the wisdom of Spirit to guide you in each moment to the correct place, to the correct people, to the correct experiences. And with your guidance system, your feeling, emotional body, you will know when things are right and you will know when things are not right, when you meet them, when you encounter them. But you will not be trying to plan a concrete future using the ego mind, for that is what you will be using if you are planning. Now, many of you will not like the idea of not planning, and that is okay. You are taught to plan, you are taught to schedule. Your world, your current reality depends on you showing up at certain times to do certain things. But remember, this is a training program. Things will slowly shift as you shift your consciousness. You do not have to understand or believe in what you are studying right now. But your willingness to begin to entertain these concepts and the idea that perhaps there is another way of guiding your path through this incarnation. Perhaps there is another way of doing it. And these lessons begin to introduce those ideas to your mind, and your mind will probably not like them, but that is okay. You only have to participate in them for the several minutes each day that you are asked to participate in them. You can carry on with your normal life in the other 23 hours or so. I am that one that you know as Jesus. You are in safe hands. You are guided, you are loved, and you will be shown what you need to do. We will speak to you again tomorrow. All right. Thank you all for joining us today. See you tomorrow. Bye.